Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about how I read 100 books a year. So if you watched my last video, you heard that I read 103 books last year in 2021, and this year my goal is to read 100 books again. And you might be wondering, how does she find time to read 100 books? I am a college student, I have a large family, and I help out a lot. I serve a lot in my church, so how do I find the time to read all of these books? I have 3 points today to talk about that help me to read 100 books per year. The first one is prioritize. I get up almost every morning at 6 a.m. I start with reading my Bible, and then I have about 3 different books that I will read in the morning. 2 of them are like Christian books. One of them is Gentle and Lowly, which I mentioned in the last video, and then another book that I'm reading right now. And then if I have time, I will go into my fiction book and read it. So this time before anyone else is awake, where I don't get on my phone, I'm specifically focused on reading. This helps me a lot to prioritize my reading time. The second time that I read a lot is at night. Instead of after dinner and everything, going and getting on my phone or watching a movie, I use that time to read a book. Now, it doesn't always happen. I don't always have a lot of time in the evenings, but I do try to prioritize that time for reading. Again, it's a time where I don't have my phone, I am winding down for the night, and I pull out my book and I read it. Then I read throughout the day, just in various times when I'm not doing other things. I have time to spend to relax, I will pull out a book. One way that I'm doing that, for example this year, is I'm doing the 1,000 hours outdoors challenge, and every day I basically have to spend like 3 hours outside a day. So I do that every day, and if the weather's good, I will grab a book and I will go sit out in the sunlight and I will just read during that time. So if I'm spending like 2 hours reading outside a day, that will help me get a lot of reading done. The second way that I read 100 books a year, so first I prioritize my time. Second, I read various books and genres. Instead of just reading reference books or only reading Christian books or only reading fiction, I try to pick like one from each category and read them all at the same time. That way throughout the day I'm not getting bored of the books that I'm reading and losing my attention. I'm actually switching back and forth. So I'll read a chapter in the morning from Gentle and Lowly. I'll read a chapter in the morning from a different book. Then I'll read a chapter in the afternoon from my fiction book. And that really helps me to have variety and not get tired of just one book, and it helps me to have a longer attention span. So that's really helpful. And then the third and last thing is audiobooks. So I started really listening to audiobooks in the last year, and I think that's really what helped me to get to my 100 books. I actually use the library apps. So you probably don't know about this. Many people think, oh, you have to use Audible and you have to pay for them. That's actually not true. Your local library most likely has audiobook apps. They have partnered with these apps and they will check out books and have them available through your library on there. So you have to go to your local library's website, go set up an account, get a card if you don't already, and then you don't even have to go into the library. You don't have to make that drive. You don't have to go actually physically check out books. Go to your library's website and figure out what apps they use. My library uses Cloud Library, it uses Hoopla, and it uses Libby. And those are all apps that have audiobooks that the library partners with. And I can download them on my phone and log in with my library card and check out books all the time. They have most of the books that I look for. If it's a lesser known book or less popular, it's possible they don't have it, but on some of the apps you can request for them to check it out. So that is a great resource that you can use because it's free and you're just borrowing the books and then you can get back. So one, you're not spending all this money on 100 books a year that you might not ever read again. You can just check them out and be able to listen to them right on your phone. So that is a wonderful resource that probably half the books I read last year came from audiobooks. So 3 things I do to read 100 books a year. 1, prioritize my time. 2, read a variety. And 3, listen to audiobooks. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it will help you in your own reading journey this year and that you can read more books than you have in the past. If you have any other suggestions on how to read a lot, comment down below, and I would love to see other people's suggestions. I'll see you next time.